let's not treat people as if they are slaves and don't know it. Entrepreneurship is not emancipation for everybody.
Welcome to the Networking with Michelle podcast, the show dedicated on providing you the how-tos of marketing and networking strategies. Here we believe in the Jim Rohn quote, success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning into the Networking with Michelle show. I'm your host, Michelle Gourmet. So we got a lot to cover today, so we're going to jump right in. This episode is brought to you by lynda.com. You can learn a new skill online on your time. We've been talking about the importance of video, business, sales, marketing, operations. If you want to build an app, Lynda has over 5,000 courses for you. Okay. Now I'm going to give you my special link. If you go to michellegourmet.com/Lynda, you can start your free trial today. Yes, michellegourmet.com/Lynda, Lynda. You can start your free trial today. All right. Also, I'm part of the Houston African American Bloggers Association, and we are a collective group, diverse individuals from blogging, podcasting, YouTubers, or video blogs, social media managers, as well as just Instagram, Snapchat influencers. We come together twice a year. This year, on Saturday, May 6th, we have our co-working day, and we just come together, we brainstorm, we create our content calendars, whether it's for the next 30 days or for the next 6 months. And we strategize, individually, but we brainstorm amongst each other on what can I do, how should I do it, etc., etc. And if you're in the Houston area, and you're a content creator, or you know a content creator, or maybe you're an entrepreneur, but you understand the business of creating content, or you need a social media manager to help with your business, I want to encourage you to come out Saturday, May 6th on our co-working day to meet us and see what we do and actually see how we can help you. It's a free event, okay? HoustonAfricanAmericanBloggers.com. Also, on Saturday, August 5th, we have our annual boot camp, and we're lining up the workshops. We're getting everything ready, and tickets will be available soon. But at the same time, if you're a business and you want to increase your awareness within the Houston area, we're also looking for sponsors. Okay, so reach out to me, email me, info@michellegourmet.com. I'll be glad to get that information to you. And the website is HoustonAfricanAmericanBloggers.com. All right. So for today's guest is Asa Leveaux. He is an expert when it comes to business development. He's the founder of Genius Academy. He's a best-selling author. He's working on his 5th book right now. And let me tell you something. Nothing was off limits in this interview. I like to say conversation. I was like, look, you're a brother. You're my brother. We're cut from the same cloth at this point. And I got to tell you, this is the disclaimer. The couple of F-bombs went down. Okay. So I don't know if you got the kiddies in the car or whatever you're doing. You may want to stop it right now and listen to this when you're at the gym and you got your earphones on. Okay. But we discuss it all. We talk about, what is it like when you're a non-white person and you got to navigate these white spaces. Okay. What's it like? Is entrepreneurship the answer? Is entrepreneurship the alternative? How can I be a better entrepreneur? Because right now with social media, what we see is if you're not all in, you ain't nothing, when that's not the case, right? Nothing's wrong with keeping your gig doing corporate America. And if you have the ability to earn an extra $1,000 on Amazon.com. Right? We're not knocking anyone's hustle here at the Networking with Michelle show. Okay. Also, we talked about being single as an entrepreneur. Okay. And that once again, just natural conversation. But we hit on so many different things, and I loved it. I love talking to this brother. I want to encourage you to support him. He has some great reads. He has a free download. I want to encourage you to get that, called My First 10K. Okay. Because Asa works with entrepreneurs on how they can earn 10K. And this download, My First 10K, he walks you through that process step by step. I can go on and on and on, but you don't want to hear it from me. You want to hear it from him. So without further ado, Asa Leveaux. Hey, good people. Thanks for tuning in to the Networking with Michelle show. Today, we have Asa Leveaux. Asa, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I am doing really good today. How are you? That's the question.
Good. So we're recording this on a Monday, and it's been a good Monday. It's been a real good Monday.
Every Monday is a good Monday that you're alive, and that you understand your role in the world. Yeah, Mondays are sexy.
Hey, that was in your newsletter today too. Well, it was like your business is sexy, something like that. But I got your newsletter this morning.
Cool.
Well, first of all, I appreciate you for doing this because I've been following you for 2 years. You did the interview with Coy McDermott, Leaders Inspire Leaders. And we actually launched our podcast around the same time. And he referred me to you, but I don't know what happened. I should probably telling on myself. But I have been following you for 2 years. And now, more recently, we're in the Traffic Sales and Profit group with Lamar Tyler.
Mm-hmm. You gotta love Lamar Tyler. Like, seriously, he is a true.
I'm always shouting him and his wife, Ronnie, out. Lamar, Ronnie Tyler, Black and Married with Kids, Traffic Sales and Profit. They've been on here. They've blessed me with their knowledge. But yeah, so you just been popping up. I was like, you know what? He's really contributing. So let me reach out to him again. And thank you. Here we are.
No, thank you as well.
So what's going on with you? Tell me about yourself, your journey, and all that good stuff.
So first off, I don't want to act like it's just us two. I know people are listening. So for you all that are part of her tribe, hello to you. I am from Oklahoma, and when you are from Oklahoma, you do not enter a physical room or a virtual room without speaking to the people in the room, or you'll get hit in the back of the head or in the back of the throat. So hello to you all. I gotta act like I have home training. If those of you who do not know me, and you may have seen a flyer, or just because you're friends with someone connected, and you were just happened to be on, and you have like, who is this dude? So first off, the way you pronounce my name is Asa Leveaux. And if we were, hanging out on the rooftop and you were having your drink and I was having, my second drink, and you asked the question, so what do you do? My response to you would be, I train and develop aspiring entrepreneurs to create their first $10,000. That is what I do. Now, within what I do, there is a lesson to be learned with that statement. The lesson to be learned with that statement is that so often, and I do mean often, a lot of us, we answer the question with a label or a title. So it looks like this usually. So what do you do? Oh, I'm a barber. So what do you do? Oh, I'm a professional accountant. What do you do? Oh, I'm a coach. Okay, that tells me nothing about what you do. That tells me everything with what you want to be called. When you operate from a place of ego, it stops money and networking opportunities. You don't want to stop a full-fledged possible conversation by focusing on, look at me, I'm wonderful, bow down little minions, okay? You want to actually facilitate an ecosystem of conversation.
I love it. So I got to backtrack a little bit because we're gonna get into all of that. I know they're getting excited, but I want to backtrack a little bit because before we get to the entrepreneurship, I know you've done some stuff in corporate America. You've written books and everything. One of your books is called "Why I Won't Hire Black People: Racial Profiling for a Reason."
You got that right.
Can you provide us with some advice on how you've been able to navigate these white spaces as a non-white person, and then how you're able to transition into entrepreneurship?
That's a great question. I have never been asked that question. Okay, so first of all, oh yeah, you got that right. Nothing's off limits. First off, yes, I really did write a book called Why I Won't Hire Black People. Now, remind you, those of you who are on that may be of a darker hue and kissed by the sun, you probably have little senses that are tingling at the moment. And I get that. However, I didn't say why I don't hire Black people. I said why I won't hire Black. There is a difference. And so the thought or the experience of operating within quote unquote white spaces and how I can circumvent that or navigate those looks to me internally like not identifying the space as white in the first place. My 15-year experience in the military, corporate experience that ranges from companies like SAIC, Northrop Grumman, Honeywell, Halliburton, Kellogg Brown and Root, those different types of organizations. There have been many a time I have been in a classroom, a conference room, a call, brief, and I have been the only Black face in the room. And I believe in the adage of one drop is all you need. I'm very much secure in being the drop. And when I enter the room, I affect the totality of who is there rather than they affecting me. I'd rather be a thermostat than a thermometer any day.
I love it. Okay. I like that.
Good.
So, what made you leave corporate America? How was your transition?
Leaving corporate America, that is, it's strange you say it because I never really feel like I'm out of it. And this is why I say, there's a couple of reasons why I say I'm not totally out of it. Number one, corporate America to me is any industry that employs at least 500 people. You employ over 500 people, you're corporate to me. And I mean, show enough corporate. Going from you're working your way to that level to you actually being that level. And of course, other people can say, just as long as you got 2 employees, you're corporate. And that's a possibility as well. And I don't step on those. However, the reason why I say this is because number one, I am still in the Army Reserves. So 1 week in a month. Yeah, 1 week in a month, I still do my due diligence, or not due diligence. I still do my service with the military. I've done that for 15 years. That has resulted in me going to Iraq and Afghanistan, Saudi Arabia, other countries. And I just don't have an issue with it. It's 1 week in a month. Like, it's 1 weekend a month. I really don't have an issue with 1 week in a month. Now, if I was active duty, we may be having a different conversation. But I really am a reservist, and I don't have any issue with it. And I have been able to take things that the military has taught me, and being a veteran and all of that, and use them in the business space. Another reason why I say I'm not totally out of the corporate space is because I believe that if you in fact have a business and you believe or desire growth in your business, you are nothing but a corporation in training.
Yeah, that's true.
How can I really talk about leaving the corporate life when I'm building a corporate existence? Like, I have a corporation. I have divisions of that corporation. I have people that I pay to facilitate tasks that generate money. And on the base level, that's it. And I don't want to be someone who just inadvertently talks shit just to make shit sound sexy, because that's not real. So I don't want people to ever think that you are dismissing or getting rid of quote unquote corporate life when you say you're going into business for yourself, and then you have the audacity to have a SOP, a standard operating procedure over a particular task, and then you pay somebody and expect them to read it because that's a corporate task to create an SOP and then pay somebody to follow the system you built. But if you keep talking shit about corporations, then you're going to, by way of you doing that, you're going to cause issues with the people that are supposed to be building the company with you. That's how I feel about that.
Yeah, and I love your perspective, and I have to laugh at myself as well as a lot of my entrepreneur friends, because we are taught to go in corporate America. We get our degree, we get that job, and then now many of us are trying to leave. But the thing is, when you're building your business, you always want that corporate client, because those are the ones
Right.
you want the corporate dollar on the other end, right? And I know one thing I learned, because I used to work in finance, and I was always dealing with the investors and the financial advisors, calls, emails, all this kind of stuff. I remember because I quit on a Friday, and then that first Monday, I was like, I had to make that first phone call, but it was just like all of these phone calls for X amount of years led up to this one phone call, or my first phone call. Yes. But I felt like, it felt good to make this call for myself, for my business. When I get this call, and if I get the client, it's 100% payout to me. And it's not waiting until the end of the quarter or until the end of the year. And then, so it's like small business owner, but it's like, wait, I want to speak in front of corporate clients. I want to strategize for, established companies and corporations. And you're right. It's like we never leave. As much as we're trying to run away, eventually we find ourselves running back to it.
But you know what? You still bring up a valid point, though, because what I know for sure is that it's a difference when you are playing in the entrepreneur space rather than the employee space. And I can sure enough speak to, and I have been intimate with, the employee space of being put in this box within a box. Not just a box, but a box within a box. And having that feel like you are choking on your own potential.
Oh my gosh.
And you go and you're wanting to operate within this box within a box. But then you think outside of that hole, and then it's like, wait a minute, you can't go there. You have a left and right limit, and they won't let me be great. Okay. So for instance, with the military, I'm not saying anything bad about the military, but I am a different individual. If you step to me and I'm in uniform, I am literally the same way in uniform as I am, like, as we're talking. I'm just the same guy. And that means I'm very empathic. So I feel for people on a very deep level, almost on an ancestral level. And I speak to the heart of people. And at the same time, I'm like, yo, we got to go fuck shit up. And, I mean, all of that is still very real, no matter what clothing I have on. But I still have a left and right limit. But let's say, for instance, when I got a corporate client, I actually got a corporate client, T-Mobile. I was able to do training for T-Mobile. And let me just say, there's nothing like it. And can I tell you that they didn't give me a left and right limit? And I was able, and I said to the person who hired me, the operations manager for the state of Oklahoma, she was like, okay, you want to do training for us? Okay. And we're talking it out and making sure that I deliver on what they need rather than what I offer. Hint, hint, I'm telling her I can deliver on what they need rather than what I offer. And she says, and I asked her, I said, there's something I need to ask you. I said, I am known, and my company is known for being very irreverent in our language and our ways of doing things. Is there going to be an issue with you? She's like, well, what do you mean? I said, well, for instance, we have a meme on our business Instagram that literally says, fuck fear. Is that an issue? She said, well, actually, I'm glad you said that, because our corporate culture is in alignment with that, to the point that our She said, how Apple does these big corporate events and they're televised, and that's when they introduce the new iPhones. I said, yeah. She said, well, actually, we have those too. People just don't know about it because we can't show them because our CEOs and C-suite executives are dropping so many F-bombs, we can't actually put it in the store. I said, really? She said, yes. And I said, we are going to get along great. And we did. I am still getting feedback from us training those managers at that location.
So, okay, I'm glad you brought this up because I have a mentor, older Black guy. I think he just turned 50. Love my mentor to death. Married, children, got some swag about him, right? And we have this debate. We're friends. I don't even think this thing is on right now. Because I've been wanting to ask this, but asking it to someone closer to my age. I'm a big fan of Gary V, okay?
Oh, love Gary V.
And we have this question, this debate, and the thing is it possible for us, can we have a Black Gary V? Meaning, can we have a Black man go to a corporate event, speak an event?
Have you not watched my lives?
I guess I haven't. Because that's the thing is like, can we have a Black man go into a corporate event, no suit, no tie, and, still provide valuable content, strategy, tactics, step 1, 2, 3, and still have, some curse words come out?
You are fucking talking to him. And the reason why I say that, because what do I wear? What do I wear at every speaking event? I wear skinny jeans or skinny pants because I love them suckers. I don't care what nobody say. I look good in them, and that's why I run, so I can keep looking good in them. I have a V-neck T-shirt because I love V-necks. I got a chest tattoo, and the colors pop out. And they're comfortable as all hell. And the V-neck usually has one of my organization's logo on it, or it's plain in color, and a blazer with the sleeves rolled up. That's what I look like when I go speak or when I go corporate train. I don't want to wear a tie. Do I look fly in ties? I do. Do I own ties? I do. Do I look stupid in a suit? Best believe it. I have photo shoots are real, and that's not my best. My best is when I feel comfortable. My best is when I feel that I have the grace and the ease to bring you a level of certainty, as well as not just certainty, but actually steps to that certainty. So that's how I show up when I come. And I make no qualms about saying, if this is going to be offensive to you, if the way that you operate with the divine, with any divine being, says that cussing is going to send you to hell, or you are not going to be allowed or able to actually receive things with language attached to it, this is your opportunity to leave. I have given you a warning order. That's military lingo. I'm giving you a warning order that this is what's about to happen, and you may take action as you deem fit right now, because it's about to get real in just a second.
All right. I appreciate that. Now, do you think corporations are bending a little bit because of the direction of not just millennials, but the startup culture as well?
I don't know if they're okay. I don't know if they're bending. Well, it's just the way how you look at it. They could be bending, but I believe that there are certain things that you just need to have in place. So you need to have a way. I think the how is bending. The results are not bending, but the how we get to the results is bending. So yes, I talked about SOPs and standard operating procedures before. But now, even myself, my thing is, if I tell you to go, I need you to make 15 introductory calls to potential clients this week, and you do all the calls, you do 3 a day for the next 5 days, you did it. Or if you did them all in the next hour, you did it. And that's all I care about. And then there are some very rigid corporations and corporate cultures that say, no, you didn't do it the way I said to do it, so because of that, you're wrong. And you're like, but I did it. So I think the bend comes definitely in the how.
Okay. Now, when it comes to entrepreneurship, so we're talking about corporate, but if we're going to pivot and we got side hustlers and full-time business folks, is entrepreneurship the alternative, and is it for everybody?
Is it the alternative to what?
The job, the career.
Okay. The first thing I'm going to say between this whole entrepreneur-employee thing is let's not make shit up. And I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to the people listening. I'm talking to all of us. Let's not make shit up. What do I mean by let's not make shit up? Because we make shit up thinking that you aren't living your best life unless you are pursuing to be an entrepreneur. You are not, quote unquote, woke as fuck if you are comfortable getting a paycheck. And I'm going to call bullshit on all of that. I call bullshit on all of that because I need somebody who wants to come to the Leveaux Group in our family of companies to work every day and love what we do and who we do that for and show up on time every day. I need somebody like that. That's what I need. And those of you that are building companies, you want, desire, deserve that as well. So let's not treat people as if they are slaves and don't know it.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship is not emancipation for everybody.
That is true.
It just ain't. It just ain't. And yes, I said ain't. And I'm very comfortable with that word. And so please, let's not get into that. And also the comparison. Comparison is the thief of all joy. And I will say that again. Comparison is the thief of all joy. And we can sometimes think, we feel like, okay, you know what? I got a job in a place. You know, I'm from Oklahoma City, so I'm living in Oklahoma City. I'm making $70,000 a year. And let me just say, if you're in Oklahoma City making $70,000 a year, you are doing okay. And I got this $70,000 a year. I only have one kid. I'm dating somebody, and I really want to do this side thing. And so I have an Amazon store and an Etsy store, and it's working pretty well, getting like $1,000 extra a month. But I really don't have the intent to quit my everyday job. But when I listen to this person or that person, I feel like I can't really call myself an entrepreneur because I'm not doing it full time. And then when I try to, talk to people like an entrepreneur, like at networking events, they shun me because I'm not a full timer. And I'm going to say, baby boy, baby girl, fuck them. Fuck them. Do what you do. Get it how you want to get it. And it's all that matters. Get it how you want to get it. What is the capacity of you getting it? You may not have the mental, emotional, spiritual capacity to get into the entrepreneurship realm. Just because it makes sense on paper does not ensure that it makes sense in your heart, that it makes sense in your nerves, that it makes sense in your mind. Just because you have a great profit and loss statement and all those things seem to sing together on paper does not mean it's time for you to go into full-time entrepreneurship. There is a world in entrepreneurship that I really don't wish on anybody. I don't wish this shit on anybody. However, if you want to come, I'm willing to wade in the water with you. But I don't wish it on it. And I don't just like I don't tell people to get into the military. Like when I get on Facebook or some social media and some mother says, oh, my baby joined the military, I inbox them ASAP. Like, yo, tell your kid to call me. I am a different kind of recruiter. Do I want you in the military? Of course, because I'm going to get out soon enough. And I'm going to need somebody to protect the country. I got you. And it still ain't for everybody. Because there are things that are not on the brochure. Yeah. And there are things that people just aren't saying on Facebook Lives either.
Yeah. And I think even because I have a job. And I think even, that full-time entrepreneurs or whatever you want to call yourself, I also think like they need to check themselves. They need to be mindful because especially with social media, we do paint this picture of glamorous, of whatever. It's like, the thing is, you're not seeing me when I'm on the couch for 12 hours on Saturday and trying to do what you say, this SOP in between my naps.
Yeah. Yeah.
but you are going to see me, take a picture when I'm giving that presentation.
Oh, most definitely. The same way you don't know that I spent 2.5 hours with GoDaddy to point one tool to my website. One tool. It didn't get any more clients. It didn't do shit. All it was point this software to this website so that I don't have to do this one thing manually anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I was like, I'm trying to say we address, this show is about addressing the hard issues. It's like, what are we not telling that person that thinks they want to make that leap? Because it is hard. But at the same time, I wish I stayed in corporate America. Even though I have a job, I don't consider myself in corporate anymore. And I wish I stayed in corporate longer. And I had a colleague was saying, I'm thinking about getting a job. And I'm like, corporate America is tough. And we don't talk about that either. And I feel like that needs to be addressed.
Which part needs to be addressed?
How tough corporate America is. And like, people don't talk about that. Everyone's like, you need to do your own thing. And I could be biased at times, but I'm like, corporate is tough. Yeah, you may walk in there on orientation and they're showing you this 3-year, 5-year track record on how you're going to be account executive 1, 2, 3, and then manager. And I'm like, yeah, but they're not telling you about those politics and those squiggly lines.
Yeah, they're not telling you that you aren't supposed to say what you really feel in a meeting. And then you're not supposed to actually go out to lunch with the secretary that seems really cool. And let me just say, who's also maybe Black and maybe the only other Black person, because that particular secretary got passed over for different positions, is now going to use the information that y'all shared over chicken and fried rice. She's going to share that to the rest of the company at the water cooler. And then you're also not supposed to go get like really tipsy at the Christmas party, even though everybody else is tipsy, because you are considered the new person, and because they are known to be luscious and their uncles are they own stock and your uncles don't, you can be easily removed. Or the fact that maybe the fact that you didn't compliment somebody on their presentation when everybody else did, even though you don't really give a fuck about the presentation, because your mind is somewhere else, because you didn't, you are now deemed as somebody who is antisocial and not a part of a team. And so because you're not a part of a team, that adversely affects your evaluation on the next quarter, which then limits you to you're actually getting a pay raise. Yeah, no one talks about that shit. I get it.
Yeah, I'm just nodding my head like, oh, the memories.
I know all about that life, and I don't like that life. And I am ensuring. Now, here's the power of entrepreneurs. You can create a system. You can create a virtual landscape to where you can bring in people that don't ever have to experience that because you did.
And that's the beauty of business.
That's the beauty of business. You paid the price. It costs to be the boss, baby. It really do.
But it takes time. So don't think you're going to jump out the gate and you're like, I'm going to do everything Chase didn't do. Because it's going to take time to get to that point. But yeah, definitely.
And you bring up another point that I really do want to say about the time it takes. And I understand. I'm currently 33 years old, and I've been an entrepreneur for 11 years. And what I'm seeing in this social media space are individuals that, of course, yes, they're younger than me. And none of us can help the year we were born. So it's not about the youth. It's not about that at all. Because there are trifling people who are 50. Let's just be real about that. But what I'm seeing is that people that are stepping into the social media space as business owners, so they're using social media and capitalizing that as far as getting revenue. You're a lot of people are going into that and then they talk shit about everybody else who doesn't. And what I'm going to ask you to do is, if you think that's you or you don't think that's you, just take a step back and think about what you have had to come through. What have you had to do to show your resiliency, not in life, but in business? Because we all, if you reach the age of 18, you have been through something. And again, comparison is the thief of all joy. So don't compare against somebody else, but just think about your life. You've gone, something has happened. You got through it. But as far as business is concerned, if you haven't been sued yet, shut the fuck up. If you have not made a way out of no way when you robbed Peter to pay Paul and pissed them both off.
Hold on now. Yeah.
Literally, if you have not done that and then have a business at the end of the day to show that you could still stand through that, refunding people thousands of dollars after you delivered on the product or service that you agreed to, and then having that affect your cash flow, having to sleep. Now I'm telling you about my own I'm going in my own stuff now. Sleeping in the parking lot of a hostel, not even a hotel, but the parking lot of a hostel, when hostels are running like $25, $30 a night. You couldn't even afford the hostel. So you got to sleep in the parking lot just so you can do a VIP day to a conference, a business conference, to get the education that you need. Don't talk to me about you in it to win it and you need to try harder, or all them other little memes that people like to post. Don't tell me nothing about that, because it's going to come a day when you won't feel so hot. You just won't feel so hot, and you won't feel that you crushing it, and you won't feel like you pressing the beast mode button, because shit has gotten too real for you. So all I'm saying is just be patient with yourself and with others, and don't judge so much, because you just never know what people are going through in their business and in their lives. And because all you know is that you making money, but you have no idea that, their mother is taking cancer treatments, and because the mother, doesn't have a job or doesn't have healthcare benefits, that's the reason why maybe they didn't fulfill on their service contract. And they took the money anyway, but they didn't do now, of course, bad business is bad business. And I have definitely been one to do bad business. Even when I knew better, I still did it. And you still got to make up for it, and you still got to own your shit. You got to own it. But there is a reason for a lot of things. And so just don't be so quick to pass judgment on business peers. That's all I want to say.
How have you been able to keep the momentum over the past 10 years? Or have you had, some breaks where, I'll just say a sabbatical, whether it's 2 weeks, months, days, whatever?
Oh my God, yes, I have had a sabbatical. There are times when I have hour-long sabbaticals. And this is what I mean. Sometimes people think I don't answer the phone, or in the past. Now I answer the phone. But in the past, people thought I wasn't answering the phone to be rude. I didn't answer the phone because I quit. And I needed an hour to quit.
That's real.
I said, fuck it, in that hour. And I was contemplating, you know what? I just got a job offer on LinkedIn, and they said they was going to pay me this much. And I know how valuable I am to an organization. And I don't want to do this anymore. This hurts. I've heard that business doesn't have emotions. I've heard that. And that's true. That's a very true statement. Businesses don't have emotions. And then there's this thing called the people who own the businesses or run the businesses. And we do. We have lots of emotions. So yes, I have taken a sabbatical over 10 years I've been in business, because life happens. So What happened when I filed for divorce? What happened when my great granny died? What happened when I got the eviction notice on my apartment? What happened when I bought a car from a raggedy lot because I was in a real bad shape and they put one of them devices on my car? And so you don't pay your car payment for 2 months and they cut your car off at the business conference. What do? Sometimes you need to step the fuck back and take a sabbatical. Have you ever gotten an eviction notice 5 minutes before your speaking event? I have. I really have. Now, so you want to talk about it really is about mindset, because I have to keep fucking going. Well, I can't stop. I got people that really do. I know people pray for what I need to give them. And that's all of us. If you're an entrepreneur, somebody is praying for the solution that you are a beast at providing. That's why you're an entrepreneur, not for the headshot, not for the Facebook share, not for the business card, not for you being on the cover of a magazine, not for you winning that 40 under 40 award, not for any of that bullshit. You are existing. And when you become an entrepreneur, for sure enough, you understand that your existence is a little bit wrapped up into you providing that solution to other people's problems. Now, it is not the totality of who you be. I am very aware of that. There is an Asa that no one can even touch, an Asa just for Asa. And I hope and advise everyone to have a piece of yourself that no one can touch. And at the same instance, understand that you are creating a life of providing solutions for people. So yes, I say what again? The solution that I provide is just what I stated. I train and develop aspiring entrepreneurs to create their first 10,000. My solution is in that. So in that, you can even break that down. Who is looking for me? Aspiring entrepreneurs. What's their problem? They can't make their first 10,000. I am very aware of what I do for people and who those people are and where they are. And that's what you first have to worry about, is what solution you provide, who you provide that to, and then going to go get them.
Now, 10,000 is a lot of money. Well, let me back up. I'm thinking. Or is it? Well, that's why I was like, let me back up. It's relative depending to the situation. But, my goal, right, for most people, it would be 10,000 a month, right? Not just 10,000, but let's get this 10,000 a month going consistently, okay? But what are some of the... I
understand that. I really do.
Because I'm like, to me, there's a difference. Like, don't get me wrong, I can use the 10K, but I'll be much better if I got that 10K coming in every month. But right. what are some... I understand. Okay, so is that what you help people with? It's not just the 10K, but the 10K a month, getting on that track? And then what are some of the milestones we need to hit or that we need to look out for just to see that level up to 10K?
So my thing is, with the 10K, I really do want them to get the first 10K. And that's relative to each person. Sometimes 10K takes a year for people. Sometimes 10K takes a week for people. It depends on what level of action you're willing to take. And I have definitely understood that. What kind of action you ready to take? This weekend, I sent over 300 emails to prospective clients. I did, personally, not my team, me personally. I wanted to test my own grind again. So I wanted to see how many I could do. And I wasn't really pushing it. like I could have, but I just wanted to see. And I sent over 300. Now, I could tell that I can give that same tasking to another person, and that other person tell me I did 30 and feel really great about it. And I won't say nothing to them. If they ask me, well, how many have you done? And I say 300, they may look at that a little different. And I wasn't using any type of automation. I hand jammed every single email address. Every single one. So it wasn't magic. It was really sweat equity that was placed there. So no, it's not about the 10K month or the day, but you do need to make the first 10. Let's just be honest. You need to make the first 10. Now, if they allow me the opportunity to teach them how to make 10,000 a month, I am so happy and willing to do that. I am able to look at a business and look at holes, look at potential, see where there's so much money being wasted on the table. And I do that from 5 different ways: sales, marketing, operations, finance, and accountability. I look at all 5 aspects of that, of their business, and look at everything that needs to be, the things that we need to change first. So it won't be an inclusive list, but it'll be the showing up right now to get you out of the place you're in. Yeah, we need to do these things now. And if I'm on a conversation with somebody, and I've been having these 15-minute phone conversations with people lately to just kind of test myself. And I think we should all test ourselves, because I want to see how much of a beast I can be in 15 minutes. Now, I know I'm a beast. When somebody wants to have a day with me, a VIP day with me, yeah, I'm a beast. But can I provide value in 15 minutes? And so I've been doing these 15-minute calls, and I can tell you, people get at least 10 homework assignments in 15 minutes.
I might have to take that challenge.
Literal action steps in 15 minutes. And they are not confused about those action steps either.
All right. So what do you have coming up? I know, what are you working on? What do you have coming up, and how can people get in contact with you?
Sure. So what I am working on is the next bestseller, my next best-selling book. This will be book number 5. And this book is an answer to this adage or this thought process of the work-life balance. Many of us have heard about the work-life balance, and we must be balanced, and you're just so out of balance, and all of those things. And so I want to speak to that with entrepreneurs and the people who love entrepreneurs, because when you're in relationship with someone who has that type of mindset, you don't. You may just call it all crazy.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
And so this is going to help them as well. And so to tackle that, or to bring awareness to another idea or even a paradigm shift, the title of that book is called Fuck Balance. Literally, fuck balance.
Do you think I'm sorry, I'm interrupting, but do you think we as people, our life is more seasonal versus balance?
I believe that our days are more seasonal than balanced. 'Cause my thing is, I love my mama, and I really do. That's not just something cute to say. I really do love my mama. And there are days I don't talk to my mama.
Right.
But if you looked at my life on one particular day, you may say, you don't even care about your mother, or you don't even care that you matched with another person on Tinder who also swiped right, or you don't even care about marketing in your business. You only care about the sales portion, because they're looking at one day, or they're looking at 1 month, or they're looking at 1 year. And balance, from its most basic level, look at it like a scale. If you had everything being equal, Could you live a real life? If you talked to your parent, the one that you actually like, the same amount as you talk to the person that you're romantically involved with, the same as you talk to your best friend, the same as you talk to your child, the same as you spent time in the business you're growing, at the same as in you spent time at the job that you may have to fund the business that you are growing, the same as speaking to your favorite cousin, the same as you dancing to music, the same as you're going to the gym working out, the same as you're eating food to fuel yourself, the same as you are sleeping, and the same as you are conversing with the divine. Could you do it all equally in one day, 1 month, or even 1 year? Because most of us, that sounds exhausting.
I've stopped taking phone calls. Like I'm not. Yeah.
Because that really does sound exhausting to a lot of people. And one nugget that I will, not nugget, I don't use the word nugget, I use the word sweet roll because I digest those. One sweet roll from the book is that the work-life balance idea came from corporations that wanted to tell you that it was okay to work for us. So why are entrepreneurs accepting employee guidelines for their lives?
Because we have nothing to compare it to. Like, we don't know.
Right, we don't know. And the thing about it, we can't say where our grandparents were. No, because the first time that the work-life balance idea was even formulated outside of someone else was in the 1970s.
That's
in
still
London.
young. That's still young.
Yeah, 1970s in London.
Yeah.
So we can't think about, well, prior to us, our grandparents, our great-grandparents, they just understood work. No, the fuck they didn't. You just made that up. You just made that all up. Because guess what? A lot of our grandparents were toiling fields. And if they weren't toiling in field, they were toiling in factories for a good portion of the day. And what does work-life balance make you think? It makes you think that, you know what, I'm working 12 hours in this factory or 12 hours in this field. And then instead of just going home and just watching TV, I need to just go ahead and turn that TV off and spend time with my family. So you're still working the same number of hours. You're just spending your off time differently.
Right.
To make me feel good about going to the job I hate.
Because you think it's like, well, I have more time to spend with my family. But you're actually neglecting something else, whether it's the TV time, going to the gym, being part of an organization. You're offsetting something else, though.
Exactly.
I can dig it. I think that's why I'm single, but I can dig it.
And guess what? It's okay to be single. But I will say this, for those single entrepreneurs in the world that are listening, please know that there is a difference between being lonely and alone. And as long as you feel alone, you are missing out on the best part of all of this, which is you. And I say that from this point. I was married before. I was with an individual for 10 years, married for 6. And I know what it's like to be alone and there be somebody sleeping next to you. Because the person I was sleeping next to wasn't able to give me everything that I wanted. No matter how vocal I was, they weren't there to give me what I wanted, what I felt like I needed. So if you are with yourself and your own self can't give you what you need, do better.
Hold on now. Hold on now, Pastor Asa. That's real though. Yeah. And I have a lot of entrepreneur friends, females, single females or women, and we definitely have that discussion, because obviously the variables and the dynamics are different. But yeah.
Right.
Okay. So what else? I know you contribute a lot once again to the Traffic Sales and Profit Facebook group with Lamar Tyler. And how can they contact you?
A good way to contact me is going to www.myfirst10k.co. That's www.myfirst10k.co. I'm going to spell that out. www.myfirst10k.co. Go there. Go there, and you'll start receiving messages from me, and because I do want to help you. Literally, I want to help you succeed and get to that first 10k or that next 10k. But you can go there, and also I have a guide for you that can help you get a little bit more clear about who it is that you serve. I talked about that earlier. You need to understand what you offer and who you offer that to. And so what you'll receive is that.
Everyone, go download that. I downloaded it, and Asa does a good job of literally breaking it down for you. I know lots of times when you're listening to people or you're getting these free resources, it focuses on the why and not the how, because the money is in the how, and he's providing the how for you for free. So I want to encourage everyone to download that guide, and I will definitely have it in the show notes. Final question, Asa, how do you define success?
I define success by being able to and desiring to like me. I so want to like me back. And I don't say that to be weird, even though I know I'm weird. But I say that because I believe that when we're all babies and we begin to grow up, so many times people tell us things to make us not like ourselves, or they word it in a way to not like ourselves. So when someone told me that I was not man enough when I was like 7 because I wasn't a very rambunctious little boy, or they told me that I wasn't black enough because I talk like this, or they told me that I was too black, because I still get down the way I like to get down. Like seriously, yeah, I still get down. Like I like Bach and Mozart, and I like Young Dolph, and like I can merely rock with the best of them. Like, let's not get stupid. But yeah, all of those different people and ideas combating who we really knew we were when we were born to make us not like ourselves. And then when we don't like ourselves and we don't find the right in us, we find the wrong in everybody else. And I don't want to make everybody else wrong. I just want to see the right in me. And anything that doesn't add to that idea can fucking kick rocks.
Let me ask you this, because I've been struggling with this. I like me. I love me. But my question is, if you are not happy with yourself, or if you feel like you haven't reached your personal definition of success, can you be happy for someone else's success?
That depends. I don't have a generalized answer to that because it depends. I have been in moments where I don't like, okay, I'll speak to me. Let me just speak to me. For myself, I say no. When I'm not liking me and someone close to me or even distant from me is successful, I somehow try to make their success wrong. Like, well, they don't know about the struggle, or they just got it real easy, or they just got lucky, or I try to make some kind of issue with that. Especially if they just started. And if they've been in the game longer than me, I still talk shit. Like, I just talk shit because I'm not happy with me right now. I'm not happy with me because I feel like I should be there with them. I'm not happy with me because I haven't been operating on a level of true integrity in one way or another. Or I might just feel like I might feel unloved at the moment. And unloved looks like, people not calling back when you want them to call you back. People not texting when you want them to text. And so operating in a level of expectation and ego can definitely have an effect on me experiencing gratitude and love to everybody else's success. So that's me. That's the Asa Leveaux answer. I will not speak about anybody else's experience, but I will speak to mine. So I know that I'm out of sorts when those type of ideas come into my head. That means I need to go get still so that I can get clear about who I really am.
I love your truth, brother. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, good people. We're going to wrap it up here. Remember, I believe in you. Personal connection leads to an influential network. So thanks for networking with Michelle.